It's the weekend rip.
Oh my God!
Oh
Welcome
my
to the
God.
first rock and roll edition of Weekend Rip here. My goodness,
Jesus H. Louises, as they
we were
say.
not prepared for that.
No,
But
and the
that
fireworks.
incredible. Just a quick disclaimer up at the top. I don't know how this episode's going to go. I have not seen Ben this distraught since Memorial Day week. Since a 4-day work week just absolutely crushed him. So we'll see.
Well, there's a 4-day work week next week too, because Juneteenth is next week,
He's
and they were taking that day off. to
he's in
celebrate.
shambles.
Yeah, and I did shave, so go ahead and sound off in the comments on how boyish I look today. And my
You
tummy,
do look.
what, boyish?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that he's you look like
sweet
you know what
little
you look
boy.
like when a movie like intentionally kind of plays up that it's a flashback.
Yeah.
And you look like, they're just like, shave and we'll pretend look, he's 17 here.
That's great. I like that. That's the beauty of being able to grow facial hair, folks.
You know what I mean? Like in There's Something About Mary when
Yeah.
Ben Stiller is supposed to be in high school, but he's just Ben Stiller.
Well, they also put braces on.
Sure. They didn't
But-
put the braces on you, but
Yeah. Man, I feel young. I feel young at heart. I feel full of vitality. It is weird to see my top lip. Like I remember when my dad shaved, I had never seen him without a beard. My brothers and I, our whole lives. And then when my younger brother was 13, he shaved it off, and we all couldn't. It was the weirdest thing to see this man, his turtle-looking face, turtle-ass looking face.
it is weird.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
I wouldn't call yours that drastic because you don't.
Because I have a top lip.
Well, yeah, and you don't have that thick of facial hair.
Yeah, and I have very full, succulent, supple, kissable lips.
And your father didn't, unfortunately.
No, I got these naturally. But anyway,
Ben does get lip fillers. We do want to be clear about that.
I've been getting ads for Air Sculpt, by the way, which is a name
And
that
you're
I
gonna
am
do
very
it.
long. Maybe one day, like if my if my jowls end up being too jowly and I look like a damn chicken or something, or a rooster, whichever one's got the jowls, they both do. I'm going and getting that shit air sculpted. There's no shame in that, I don't think. Right?
No,
Thank you. Exactly.
I don't really know what it is exactly.
It's just where it's just like they don't, it's
like
non-invasive.
liposuction.
Kinda. It's like non-invasive. They just tighten your shit. I don't know. That's the most I'd ever get, probably. And like dick shortening surgery.
I've already had a. No, I wish we had a little audience applause. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I've already had so much work done.
What have you gotten done?
I asked them to make my nose bigger.
Yeah.
I had a small waspy little thing, and I said, is there any way you
Give me
could
that biblical look.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I used to
Any
be.
way you could make me look like I'm on a Roman coin?
That really does suit you. Well, folks, welcome. We made it to the end of the week. Nothing happened this week. Really, really slow news week. Nothing's going on. Nothing's going on this weekend. My tummy definitely doesn't hurt. I've been getting really good sleep this week. I hope everybody else has been sleeping soundly at night, just like me. And it's party in the USA. That's what I'm gonna say.
Your whole life is party in the USA.
My whole life is party in the USA. I definitely took a shower every day this week.
You have a 2-song playlist on repeat. It's Party in the USA, and then
And
it goes
God only knows.
Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Oh man, you want to hear a quick fun thing before we get into it, folks?
Before Ben absolutely disintegrates into a pile of dust.
A fun little sort of racist anecdote. The guy who sang "Don't Worry, Be Happy," black man.
Sure.
And it came
Famously.
out. It came out when I think in the late '80s, early '90s, and I guess so. The story goes, my older brother, who was like 4 or 5 at the time, a veritable toddler, no filter, no knowledge about the world.
He was born racist.
He was born racist. He was at the
Some are
he was
saying.
at the grocery store with my mom, and there was a black gentleman right near them, and within earshot, I guess my brother said, "Look, Mom, don't worry, be happy." And my mom was like, "Oh fuck, shit, sir." I think so. The story goes, the guy had a good laugh, and it was
Yeah, that seems.
they didn't go on Phil Donahue.
Children don't. I've talked about how for like so much of my childhood, I just thought people with the same last names were related.
Sure.
And
I
so
thought Mariah Carey and Jim Carrey were
Sure.
married,
Yeah, you're
even
just
though it's
like,
spelled differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, they couldn't possibly be if they have the same last name, they're in the same family.
I thought the same thing with key locks. Like ours was a quick set. And I remember we went over to my dad's friend's house and it was quick set. And I went, Dad, we could open this guy's door. It's the same brand. And he's like, no, you absolute moron. I should disown you right here and now. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. And then he roughed me up a little bit and we went inside.
Kids are very stupid.
Yeah,
I
kids are
remember
so
the
stupid.
first,
Not me though.
because
I was
we were
brilliant.
military family. We got military ID so we could get on the base. And I just figured any ID was like it's like a fake ID. It means I can get into bars and stuff. So I was like 10. I was like, yeah, I can pretty much like go to any bar I want now.
Oh, the gentle ignorance of a child.
Yeah.
Well, folks, the Qs up a little over 0.25% this week. Good for them. Holding on by a thread. SPY was down just about 0.33%. Bitcoin down just over 0.5%. And the VIX. Somebody tell Jeffrey Epstein's ghost that the VIX has aged out because it is out of the teens and into the early 20s. 2134 is what we closed at. It is the wet hot American melt up. And for the uninitiated, the melt
why don't you
up
explain?
is just what it sounds like. You know how candles do be melting down? Slowly, always toward the ground. It's the same principle, but just up. Imagine it was a candle upside down. And it's just melting up. Nothing can bring this market down. Inflation was cooler than expected. Way cooler. Inflation showed up with a cigarette and Ray-Bans on. And everybody was like, damn, inflation is cool as hell. Keep it away from your girlfriend. That's how cool
Unexpectedly
inflation was.
cool.
Yeah, unexpectedly cool.
You heard someone was bringing their friend inflation, and you're like, God, that guy's going to be a dipshit.
Yeah.
And then he showed up, and you're like, whoa, hold on. That's inflation?
I was not expecting. He had great music taste.
Yeah.
Or she. Inflation could be. Let's make inflation a woman. Just like a cool. She's got like a one of those French hats, the artist hat.
I like when he gives his idea of cool. You know, like a woman shows up in a beret.
A beret. Thank you very much. So yeah,
I can't wait to have a party and invite a woman and have her wear a beret and Ben be like, "Holy shit,
this lady's cool
What?
as hell, man." So yeah, we had the VIX spiking today 20% because of Israel striking Iran's just striking all over Iran, which is not good. Not good vibes, especially going into the weekend. And the market did not like that. We bounced a little bit today. We opened down a little over 1%, 1.5%. The dip got bought as usual. You know, this market, folks, it's like a southern truck driver stopping in at Buc-ee's in that the dip got bought.
Brother, I'll tell you what. If we do go into World War III and everything collapses,
You're going to start smoking?
No, but we come out on the other end of it. I'm gonna be filthy rich because I can't stop. The lower it goes, I can't stop buying.
Right, yeah.
I'll ride it all the way to the bottom.
As you should, because that's famously what they say with whenever there's a threat of nuclear war or World War III. It's actually not bearish because, hey, why would you sell? Because
well, unless we don't bounce back from this one, it seems like the kind of.
But
World
it's like
War
you
III
might as well.
You're either going to bounce back, or we're all just
yeah.
walking among roaches and rubble anyway. Yeah. So, what would it matter?
So there you have it.
Imagine trying to use money among the roaches and rubble.
The roaches better accept my American dollars.
Yeah.
Guess what? Otherwise, I'm going to stomp on them. Let's check the Stock Twitch Sentiment Index, the new feature on StockTwitch.com. Let's see. I'm looking at it right now, and surprisingly neutral. Not very, just a wee bit of fair. Just a wee bit. Sorry, I hung out with my Scottish friend this weekend, and it really is doing a number on me. So yeah, sentiment not too crazy yet, but we'll see. And yeah, man, let's see. What else do we have? We had Tesla.
I'm so excited for this.
Tesla, I'm not rooting for. I don't give a shit about Elon anymore because he's out of the government.
He's really turned a corner.
But
he's definitely not out of the government. But.
Is it? I've turned a corner, and guess what's on the other side? A robotaxi.
Peter Thiel. Oh,
a robotaxi. Why would Peter Thiel be around the corner?
I don't know. Just like a new tech guy to be worried about.
If he's around the corner, I am him with a. You know.
I didn't hear what you said.
I'm him with a.
You're cutting out. I think we have bad.
I think we got a bad feed
yeah.
here. But Tesla's apparently there's been
But you're
video.
rooting for him, you said.
Well, I bought call options. I bought some. I forgot what date. I bought like August or September or something because I followed the flow. There was some flow.
I was famous. I think I said that there was no way that this was launching on in June. Whenever they announced this months ago, I still kind of feel like I don't know. We'll see.
There was video out of Austin of several Tesla cars driving unmanned. So we'll see. I'm very much in the same party. Same, help me. Party. Same party.
Same
We're at
boat?
the same party
Same
with
boat?
the cool girl with the beret and the cigarette with the cool inflation woman. But
Ben's
yeah,
trying to talk to her. He's like, have you ever heard of Pavement?
it's a good band. Oh boy. And so yeah, they're apparently 10 days away from officially launching, and we had Fartcoin. That's huge. Arguably the biggest news this week is Fartcoin launching on Coinbase.
Yeah. Did it pop?
It popped like a veritable fart.
Was it good for you?
No, because I'm no longer in Fartcoin. I have divested all of my Fartcoin.
But you're still in Buttcoin, right?
I am no longer, even though you do need a butt to fart.
Yeah.
Which
you
was
got out on butt.
I got out on butt. I got out of butt. I was like a turd. I was so out of butt. Out of butt. But yeah, so we had that, and then oh boy, there was a tragic plane crash in India, a Boeing 787, newer. I think it was like 10 years old or less or younger. A child of an airplane, really, and actually kind of a teen because you can measure their lifespan in kind of like dog years. But I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's okay.
Well, because a normal lifespan of a Boeing is actually more like cat years, I guess, because they would go to like age 30 or so, 25, 30.
Whoa, cats live 30 years?
Some can.
I've never had a cat.
Yeah, I guess
That's too long to have a cat.
I should find a different animal analogy. Well, maybe just stick to planes. It's like the lifespan of a plane. It's 1/3 of the way through its life. And then we had Peter Schiff. Who could forget the tweets last week about...
We had great fun with Peter Schiff.
Yeah.
And he's honestly, I wasn't expecting this. We love when people ask for forgiveness.
He said, I deeply regret my recent posts, which caused offense and confusion. I want to clarify that while in college, I never engaged in sexual activity with anyone under 17, nor at any time with anyone under 18 when I was over 19. My comments were misguided, and I apologize for any harm caused. I unequivocally condemn Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and all exploitation of minors.
This is so funny. Anytime you have to like... Wait, can you bring the tweet back up?
Brother.
Anytime you have to... it's not even worth apologizing if you have to say some of these things.
Oh, I know.
If you're gonna come out and include, I never engaged in sexual activity with anyone under 17, nor at any time with anyone under 18 when I was over 19. It's like, buddy, just maybe let it lie.
Yeah.
You can't.
You see that sleeping dog there? Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
You don't need to pick at it.
And when you have to go, I unequivocally condemn Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
Yeah. Like oh boy, why even wade into that mess and be like, actually, it's not pedophilia if they are sexually grown or whatever the hell he said. Anyway,
we forgive you, Peter.
We forgive you, Peter Schiff. You can, in my mind, the man can do no wrong because he's just such an endless source of entertainment.
We love you.
We love you, Peter Schiff. Please come on the show.
Can't wait for your next tweet.
Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait for it. Looking forward to it. The V-shaped recovery is still intact. I still think that we probably are. I mean, nothing matters. We probably just whip right back toward all-time highs next week. It's a short week. We've got this historical V-shaped recovery in perspective from the Coinbase letter. I still don't know how to say that.
I know. I always say Coblisi. I don't know.
Coblisi. I know.
I don't know.
It's stupid. The S&P has rallied 20% over the last 41 trading sessions. Its third best run this century. Awesome. During the same time, the Nasdaq 100 has risen 27.3%. Its third biggest rally since 2002. Only 2020 and 2008 have seen such sharp recoveries over the last 2 decades. As a result, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 are now trading just 2.1% and 1.8% from their all-time highs. We have gone from a historically weak to a historically strong market in a matter of days. Who would have seen that coming? I did.
Ben saw it coming.
Yeah. Did I?
And all the retail buying up.
Everybody else did, yeah. Did I
It's
capitalize
not,
on it? No.
I
No.
did.
You did? How?
Bought a bunch of VT sacks when it went down.
Yeah. I didn't capitalize on it. I lowercased on it. If you catch my drift. Meaning I didn't do that well. Anyway, and then, core CPI came in lower than expected. It came in lower than all 73 forecasters in Bloomberg's survey predicted. That's according to Geiger Capital there. PPI came in lower than expected. And so as a result now, you've got, of course, Trump, Vance, and all the succubi.
The Geiger Capital guy is so weird to me. He's the guy who was like complaining about, or he was getting dunked on because people were getting his old tweet where he was like, anyone who thinks Trump's actually going to do tariffs is an idiot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then everyone brought that back when Trump was getting very real about doing the tweets. So he's like a Trump guy, but now he keeps being, I don't know, I keep seeing his tweets pop up of like, I'm pissed about this thing Trump's doing now.
I love a lot of this. Is what's fun about having you wade into this world of these FinTwit dinguses, because for much of the time it's just me. I can't talk about this. Nobody knows who these guys are.
Who JD Vance is?
No. It's just like Geiger Capital and like zero hedge and all these a-hole Mortons and Peter Schiff. My favorite has been, and he follows me now, Finance a Lot or something, Mr. Finance a Lot. I know. He's been calling for Bitcoin to like, this is the most it's ever going to be. 112 is where it tops out.
Says it's topped out.
He says it's never going to go above that. And I'm like, where the hell do you get off, sir? And
interesting.
He's posting this
I'd
weird...
like to see those. I'd like to see the reason. Is it?
It's the weird like rainbow arc chart. He's like, it's just math. It's just like it's never going to go. It's weird, man. I don't understand these people.
Famously do think it's a Ponzi scheme, and once they run out of people to buy in, someone's gonna be left holding the bag.
Well, but that's why you have more children. The children come in.
Oh yeah,
and
we
they
have
get
more
jobs,
children. They
buy,
have to buy the Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then it just keeps going.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. But the great thing about pyramids, you can always have a bigger base.
I'll tell you what, though. Right now, I feel good where I'm at. I bought in. If it goes down, good. Get rid of it. If it goes up, fine. I made some money.
The fact that Bitcoin has held above 100K for as long as it has is very impressive to me. But we'll see.
I mean, how long? It hasn't been that long now.
No, it's been above 100,000 for quite
like
a while.
2 weeks.
No, longer than that. I want to say like 40 sessions, something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see. BTC USD.
It feels like just yesterday it was like in the 80s, 70s.
No. Well, it broke. The last time it was under 100,000 was May 7th. So, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was pretty much wrong. I was pretty much wrong. Anyway, you got Trump, Vance, and everybody else now calling for J. Powell, tiny butthole mouth Jerome Powell, to lower interest rates. Trump actually said, we're going to spend $600 billion a year. $600 billion because of one numbskull that sits here and says, I don't see enough reason to cut the rates down. He's, of course, referring to the massive interest payments that we are making on our debt. And he wants
J. Powell to lower them so he can get a little discount on those debt payments.
Yeah. To which I say, hey, you know who's the numbskull, Mr. Trump? The one who's racking up all the debt in the first place. You effing clown. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? Honk that nose of yours. I bet it'll make a sound, you fucking dingus, you clown. Drop dead, sir. I mean, geez, the party that
it does remind me when the interest rates were so high. Remember, all the banks were offering, not all the banks, but some banks were offering their very high yield savings account and getting everyone to join.
Yeah,
I like kind of completely forgot about it, and then with all this stuff, I was like, wait, I should look because I was like, sure, people were offering like 6.5% or whatever, 3.5%.
Not anymore.
And I was like, what the?
Yeah. American Express, I think, still offers quite a competitive rate, and I think
I haven't looked. But
I want to say Apple does too, but I don't know.
I'm sure it came down with a lot of them.
Yeah,
because the highest one I found since the 3.5 thing was 4.
Well, folks, JD Vance, also called it monetary malpractice. Lots of mudslinging going on these days. I think Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, just as an aside, suggested that we should tar and feather the California governor, Gavin Newsom,
which is just so wild.
It's so biblical. Like,
I mean, he's a very Christian man
I just can't stand
to an insane degree.
He's got that same smug look as Mike Pence. That just like, yeah, I love the Bible, but we should tar and feather this guy because
look, Jesus was great and all, but we need to kill this man.
we need to kill this man
in a horrible way.
Yeah. Speaking of inflation, though,
we miss Mike Pence, don't we, folks?
Oh yeah, Mike Pence, none the richer. Bob Elliott was highlighting signs that inflation is ticking up, but hasn't yet hit CPI/PPI data. This is before, and this is before we had the Israel doing the bombing and oil prices spiking. Yeah, let me pull this up here. We've got. He said today's measured inflation figures is the first to reflect the real impact of the tariffs, given the previous survey happened just after Liberation Day. Most economists are expecting a pickup in the CPI numbers for the first time in a while, with core approaching 1% year over year again. So, yeah, we've got...
it does feel like we're waiting for a lot to happen, bracing
Yeah.
for impact. I'm also reminded of...
I think it's priced in.
I feel like...
Again.
I feel like at least a month or two ago, it was the headlines were empty shelves are coming, and I've not seen anything since though. But they were like, we're about like 2 months out.
I mean, he makes
Kinda
a good
came and
point
went.
that all this stuff started the last reading that it's measured against was before Liberation, just before Liberation Day, and now we are dealing with the after, and it's possible that it's going to take a while for this data to catch up. But like I've said, by the time that actually happens,
Priced in,
we'll probably be at all-time highs and beyond, and it
and
won't
no
matter.
one will care.
I'm happy to be
Americans
wrong.
will learn to buy less stuff and like it.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm wrong so fucking often, man. It's actually pretty awesome. No, I'm not. I'm right a good amount of the time.
Everyone's wrong all the time,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Let's see Nick I'm always getting it wrong. Nick Timiraos? That's Greek, right?
I would imagine so.
Timiraos?
Yeah.
He's got where all the different banks have their guesses for the next rate cuts.
He's like the Fed whisperer at the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. So Bank of America says that there's no cuts in 2025. Barclays thinks that there's 25 basis points. And you guys can read that. Let's see. Where does JP Morgan stand? 25 basis point cut in December. Jeffries says September. Wow, pretty mixed bag.
I know.
Here. Mixed bag. So we'll see. I don't know. It's like basically where we're standing, folks. It's
Mixed bag on how much and mixed bag on when it's coming. A lot of these people all over the place.
Picture this. You're in the back seat of your parents' station wagon. It's
Okay.
1996. You just got done with, I don't know, a soccer game. And you ask your parents, can we go to McDonald's? We'll see. That's where we're at.
yeah.
The country right now, in terms of rate cuts, we are all collectively the children in the backseat of the station wagon with our parents saying, we'll see. You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Are we gonna have World War III?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We do have World War III at home.
It's looking increasingly likelier.
Yeah, it is looking increasingly likely. Anyway, then Trump was floating the idea of having, what's his name, Bassett. These guys with their difficult to pronounce names. He said President Trump says his pick for the next Fed chair is coming out very soon, even though his term does not end until next year. So who knows? We'll see. Oh, it just doesn't stop. Nothing ever stops.
Well, some norms have also flown out the window here, so I think people are trying to call it and being like, but usually it doesn't happen. Yeah, usually it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, usually a lot of shit doesn't happen.
Things are happening a bit differently these days, and maybe you should just get used to it.
I do wonder how the market, and I don't mean this as any kind of hope or threat or anything like that, but I do wonder how the market would
Make
react.
a threat?
Well, I do wonder how the market would react if the president of the United States were to
Broke.
pass away or become incapacitated.
Interesting.
It's happened. It hasn't happened in so long, and I know that there is
I
somewhat.
think they'd like it. I think it would.
You think the market would like it? Would rally?
I think would briefly panic and then rally.
I think it would
on,
absolutely,
maybe a chance at some more stability.
Because that's
I
exactly
think that's
what
kind
I
of
think.
exactly
Yeah,
what would happen.
yeah. So, man, I just can't imagine being Donald Trump and just feeling like you've got to be feeling the psychic hatred from half the country, if not more.
I don't think he feels
You've got to
that.
be feeling it every day.
I think kind of
right?
that's the difference between like when him and Elon were going at it. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the difference. You can tell Elon deeply feels the hatred.
Yeah.
And he so desperately wants to be liked and cool. Donald Trump, it's like that shit just goes over here. He knows he's got like this base. He's playing to the base. He likes that they rile him up. Anyone like, his haters are his motivators, whatever it is you say. He's like, I don't think it even gets in.
He's kind of like the creatures in the Godzilla movies in that sense. You try to blow him up with nukes, no, it just makes him stronger.
Kind of.
They feed off of that radiation. He feeds off of hatred.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, haters are his motivator.
He's unfortunately funny.
Yeah, he is.
Even when he's like doing something very scary. So when he's talking about arresting Gavin Newsom for like with zero cause, they're like, did you see when the reporter was like, well, so what crime would you be arresting Gavin Newsom for? He goes, I think running for governor. I think that's his biggest crime. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You can't be funny while you're doing this.
He's the king of the burns. He's the king of quips.
I think running for governor was his biggest crime.
Yeah. Actually, so our next thing is just about how Hong Kong pension funds announced that they would sell U.S. Treasuries if we lost the AAA score, and bonds for a minute were rallying this week. Today it looked like maybe pulling back again. I'm looking at the TLT, the iShares 20-year Treasury bond ETF. I mean, we're gonna be in so much trouble if this thing just continues to trend down. If these bonds just keep going, man. Well, let's check in on what the StockTwits community thinks, right? When in regards to when the SPY will hit all-time highs. According to this poll, just under 18,000 votes. The majority of people think that we will hit all-time highs before August. I agree.
Nice, a little birthday all-time highs for old Emil.
Yeah. When's your birthday? September 25th?
Why doesn't he know my birthday? But I know his. October 29th. Why does he do it?
August 25th?
Oh my God.
I can't.
It's just painful.
I have so many dang birthdays in my effing calendar. When is it?
Just don't even worry about it.
Remind me,
just
September 23rd? It's one of those days. Oh boy. So I think that we'll probably get there. Although I did buy some more puts today because I like to give money to the market makers. I think that it's good. I think that they should have a little spending money,
Yeah, it's a little weekend's coming up.
Yeah.
They deserve to have a little fun.
You can go out there and buy yourself something.
A little walking around money.
Yeah, to the market makers who just bought my
Take your wife out.
Yeah, take your wife out. I bought the 5,900 strike on the S&P for August 15th, and then I sold against it the 5,500 strike, and we'll see. We'll see.
Much like a child in the back seat of a station wagon.
I spent.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
It was $25,000 in order to make 140, I believe, if it goes at or below 5,500 by August. So we'll see.
Oh wow! So you're in good company here with the StockTwits community.
No, because they're betting on all-time highs. I'm betting on not. I'm betting that we wind up somewhere between 5,900 and 5,500. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. What the heck is?
Damn, the StockTwits community is against you.
The StockTwits community, everybody's against me, but not as bad as everybody being against old Apple, Tim Apple. Tim Apple, you guys see what's going on with this Tim Apple?
It is fun to watch them kind of flounder.
God, dude, what an absolute
this was
disappointment.
I have to say, this was maybe the worst received WWDC they've ever had.
Oh yeah,
I barely saw anyone even talk about it.
Yeah, same.
And then when we were texting, we were like, "Oh, I guess WWDC happened," and I had to Google it and just being like, "Ugh,
this is it. This is what you've got." It's First of
Honestly,
all,
don't even host one if that's what you're going to do.
yeah, no effing kidding. Stock is down, let's see, all-time highs back just at the end of last year, just shy of 260 per share, and now it's down to 196 and firmly in a downtrend. They've lost about $700 billion in market cap over the last 6 months. And boy, you want to talk about innovation just being absolutely gone.
I do think it's not just them, though. I think, like,
Sure.
especially with people who are big in physical tech,
What else can
they're
you do,
coming up
really?
they're coming up on their strengths of just like, I don't know.
Just make the
We put
screen
it-
a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
Just make it a little bit bigger.
the screen is brighter now, and the camera's a little better,
Well, and they've got
and the chip is so fast.
Transforms depending on your content,
wait.
or even your context. Really delightful.
Shut up, nerd.
Honestly,
shut up.
Imagine,
Nerd.
imagine pitching that in the meeting and people being like, "Who fucking cares?"
God, dude, liquid glass is what it's called. By the way, that reminds me, one of my favorite penny stock stories from years ago. Don't look it up because we don't need to, but it's liquid metal, I believe, LQMT. They are still around. Holy crap. Unbelievable.
Did you miss the pop?
Yeah. I also, one of my old favorite penny stocks that I did research on years and years ago has been on an absolute tear. They, in 2023, 4.5 cents. Now, 67 cents.
Hey.
Elite Pharmaceuticals. They were making an addiction-resistant opioid.
That's pretty good.
And I remember doing the research, and I was like, it's legitimate, but it was like going to take so long to maybe go through approvals and all that garbage because, it's a red tape minefield and all that crap.
Approvals and all that garbage.
Yeah, all that garbage to get that shit
just
approved.
let people have it.
Let people have it. See, watch. They won't get addicted. They won't.
Oh shit! It's even
man.
more addictive. Oh no!
They made it way more addictive. By the way, we
didn't do any approvals or that garbage.
One of the grandchildren of the Sackler family lives in the vicinity in like a very walled off little house
Where?
in the neighborhood.
Whoa!
Yeah. My buddy used to live across the street. He's like, you see that house at the end of that
Is
cul-de-sac?
it a nice house?
Oh, yeah. It's a very nice house. He's like, that's one of the Sackler grandchildren. And I'm like, damn, do you think they got any somas over there or some Vicodins for me? If I go over there and ask them for some drugs?
Isn't that like a muscle relaxer?
Yeah, dude. It's an opioid, isn't it? Don't take drugs unless they're prescribed for you and only use as directed. But anyway, enough about drugs. Let's go back to my favorite drug, tech. Which is, man, yeah. I've had moments. I know that this is going to be impossible to convey, but I've had moments where I'm high as a damn kite on weed.
That's not. We all get that.
And
That
I'm
makes
looking
sense.
at my phone and I'm like, whoa, I can almost see that there's like a weird parallax view. I can't wait until they figure that out. And it seems like that's almost what they're trying
And
to do.
now you don't even care. This whole time you've been waiting for it, and they give it to you, and you don't.
But
even
I don't
care.
think that that's what they're doing with this liquid glass ass stuff. Because that's
No.
what, more like liquid ass. Because this thing looks like diarrhea to me.
They're just like, now if you have a widget on screen, it won't block what's behind it. Like, okay,
Oh, now everything's going to look a little foggy.
don't have a whole conference for that. Just send me an email.
Jeez, dude. Yeah. I mean, and these schmucks. Let's look at these Apple executives. This video of the week interview. Good Lord. I forgot what the guy's name is.
Announced smarter AI-driven Siri. Where is she?
We had a really two-phase plan, two versions of an architecture to deliver a great Siri. And as we got into the conference, we had V1 working to do the capabilities that we showed off at the conference. So we had some real software we were able to demonstrate there and show what was coming. But it didn't converge in the way quality-wise that we needed it to. We had something working, but then as you got off the beaten path, and we know with Siri, it's open-ended what you might ask it to do, and the data that might be on your device that would be used in personal knowledge. And we wanted it to be really, really reliable. And we weren't able to achieve the reliability in the time we thought.
But there was a working version of this. This
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
just
Yeah.
vaporware.
Oh, no, of course. No, we were filming real working software with a real large language model, with real semantic search. That's what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caterpillar eyes,
Do you kind of
eyebrows.
do you kind of think he the model they're talking about was like they needed to put a governor on it because it was people were like,
Too sexy?
no, it's like it reminds me of the Zuckerberg, when he wanted it the other way. They had all the guardrails and they were like, what the hell? Our AI can't do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now it can do all these things like you can have a relationship with Jason Momoa or whatever. And all,
But that's it. That's the only feature. That's the only celebrity.
But
Just
I'm like-
Jason Momoa.
But he's talking about like the guardrails and the Siri just wasn't there. And I'm like, but what was happening with the model?
I don't know.
I think
But
people were dating their Series.
you're really in as much as they just had this big WWDC just for the liquid glass. I wish they would do that with like everyone loves Jason Momoa. So now we've made it so that you can have a relationship with Jason Momoa. But
That would have been a cooler WWDC.
yeah. Every time we say WWDC, I think it's going to be a wrestling thing.
Worldwide.
Dickhead.
Wow.
I know. That's
Yeah.
just that's
Come
just
on. Lazy. Also, that guy.
Worldwide Dork Convention.
There you go.
Worldwide Dork Convention.
That's way better.
Those two guys, Steve Federighi, which sounds like a noodle.
Federighi.
Federighi.
Are you guys all at a Federighi?
Balso, they both had the tech neck. The one guy sitting there just like
So I'll do the Federighi. Balso, I guess a little linguini.
yeah. I mean, I wonder what Steve Jobs would say. And you know what? I can guess. I would say he would probably say this
Because he's dead.
because he's dead.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead as a doornail.
Because the juice cleanse did not work.
No, the juice cleanse didn't work. Who would have thought that juice couldn't cure whatever advanced cancer the man had?
Hey, you got to try.
That's God bless him. He's remember when Donald Trump tweeted about Steve Jobs right after he died?
No.
He tweeted it was right after Steve Jobs died, and he said Linda Jobs, I think her name is Linda Jobs, Steve Jobs' wife, already has a new boyfriend after Steve Jobs' death. She's got his billions of dollars and a new boyfriend, period. And then he wrote, yeah, here it is. So let's get this right. Steve Jobs dies and leaves his wife everything, billions of dollars. Now his wife has a boyfriend. Love her. Oh, Steve.
Dude, he's beautiful. That's 2013. This man has always had an opinion about everything.
Such a pop culture,
yeah,
dude.
There has never been someone with more opinions than Donald
Oh,
Trump.
yeah. Remember when he was obsessed with Rosie O'Donnell?
Dude, yes.
Rosie is a fat
Everything.
pig.
I mean, he had opinions about Kristen Stewart and
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson. Robert, don't take her back. She'll cheat on you again like a dog.
He was such
Psycho.
such a pop culture girly. And like truly the you would want him on your team in like a bar trivia night. He would know everything.
I'd want him on my team in more of like a insult off or something.
Oh yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
really great. He'd be a really great insulter. But yeah, man, the world has changed since the old Steve Jobs died. And when he introduced the iPhone, changed the world forever.
He really did.
Now they got this glass shit coming out.
Liquid glass.
Get out of here. That's what I say. Get out of here.
I do
man.
like liquid ass.
Liquid
I'm surprised that didn't trend. You know, if there wasn't so much news going on this week, maybe it would have been a bit better for them. People would
Yeah.
have gone, I'm so excited for liquid ass.
Yeah. But it really is funny how much money and effort and fanfare there was around the headset, and then it's just gone. It's
But
just
also, to be
gone.
fair, is there like a physical tech company that you can think of where you're like, wow, they're doing cutting edge stuff, like they're blowing Apple out of the water? Because if I needed
Nope.
hey, did I not just buy a new
No.
MacBook Air?
You know what we need, Apple?
If I needed a tablet, would I not go get a iPad
Go nuts, man.
with the new liquid glass OS?
Invent us a new instrument. It's about time. We need a new instrument. Give us that.
Well, but that's the whole
In
thing.
honor of
Remember,
Brian Wilson.
everyone was pissed because they did the hydraulic press
Oh,
and
yeah.
pushed all the instruments and everything into the
Oh, that's right.
iPad. So you don't need that's your
Yeah.
instrument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doot, 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 doot.
Yeah. Man, dude. All right. So it's just, I think we're so disillusioned to tech now. It's going to take some kind of real revolutionary breakthrough for us to really get excited about anything. I mean, even just the
maybe Sam Altman and Johnny Ive have it.
I doubt it, man. Here's the
You don't
video.
you don't think they have the next thing that's
No,
going to revolutionize?
I don't
the way
think they've
we-
got the milk. No, that's going to be the new slogan. Do they got the milk? No, I don't think they got it. Here's some of the Tesla.
Yeah, this is better on
Because of the Teslas?
No, because they
Joe
are
Rogan?
they're like ground zero for all these
Oh, yeah.
self-driving cars. The amount I didn't even know about some of these when we saw that Volkswagen driverless van.
Yeah, saw
uh,
that in Austin.
Yeah, they just had so many the Waymos. They had so many cars driving around. Now they're going to add the Teslas.
Yeah,
I'd hate to be a pedestrian.
yeah. Speaking of the self-driving, a stock that I had long held a position in, Ouster, ticker symbol OUST, that I sold regrettably a while ago. They make LiDAR equipment. They just inked a deal, I want to say with the Department of some government contract they got for like UAPs or something. And the stock's been on a tear. So that's good for me.
Oof! I also
It's
just
actually really good for me that I sold it.
I just thought of the people of Austin can do the funniest thing. So we're all familiar with the flaming Waymos that we all saw the news coverage.
Yeah. Do it to
Well, some of these protests and stuff are spreading around the country. I imagine Austin could be one of them. Start calling some driverless Teslas
I would just pee and poop in them.
right off the launch. This could be a very funny way to launch.
But also pee and poop in them too.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Pee and
really.
poop in them. But then there's going to be some poor schmuck whose job it is to clean up the pee and poop.
All right, no pee and poop.
No pee and poop in the cars. Anyway, we got
Peers and poopers, stand back and stand by.
We've got some. One revolutionary company that's doing stuff. I mean, objectively, it is revolutionary. Hence why they're blowing up so much. But Palmer Luckey,
Blowing
man.
up in many ways.
Blowing up in many ways. The boy is 32 years old, looks 45, acts
45 like divorced dad who
Yeah.
lives on a houseboat.
Yeah, and just like, cool, you kids want to come over and smoke cigarettes? Cool by me, as long as you're not doing it at a bar. Let's play this clip.
Supply chain, as you build out your different product lines, looking at the technology that you are investing in and developing, looking at some of these different weapon systems as well, where do you see the most growth? What are you most excited about?
There's going to be growth across the board, but I'd say two categories. They're very different. One of them is just answering the question, how could this be done if AI is good? And that's something that Anduril has been doing since the beginning of our company 8 years ago. We started an AI company, Anduril Industries, the acronym is AI, back when AI was crazy. Nobody took it seriously. They saw it kind of like virtual reality as this always 20 years in the future, never in the present type of thing. But we ask ourselves, how would you do this differently if you had AI? How would you do ships differently? How would you do submarines differently? What would a missile look like? What would a fighter jet look like? And it's just applying that to everything. And
Interesting.
Hey, at least when when the drone comes to your house to get you for tweeting something they didn't like, at least you'll know it was that guy who sent it.
Yeah. Which
I love
actually,
this when you get asked a question.
you know what's
Grabbing your nasty soul patch.
yeah, you're nasty. Why can't these guys just be? I don't know if it'd be better if they were more normal.
I don't think they would do this stuff if they were more normal.
Yeah, they'd probably.
It
I'd be
requires
retired.
a certain type of freak,
Yeah, if I were this guy, I'd be just like, you wouldn't hear from me anymore. I would be gone. I'd be, I don't know, chilling on a beach somewhere.
If you're like stoked about building better death machines,
Yeah.
you're obviously
A bit of a freak. I mean, I get it. You love America. You live in this country. You think that we're asleep at the wheel, so you want to do your best to like contribute or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't feel the best. Which brings me to a very what's the word when the future is bleak? Dystopian.
okay.
A very dystopian idea, which is that as these robots become more and more affordable for everyday people, what's to stop someone hey, I don't like my neighbor or a rival, the ops. I don't like the ops, to use a young person's word. What's to stop some drug dealer or whoever, some bad guy, from buying a little robot, programming it with their AI, giving it a gun, and saying, go kill that guy, and then just like off yourself, just like jump off a bridge.
Wait, what?
People are going to be using robots to commit crimes for them.
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's going to be wild. That's going to happen.
I guess I never thought
People
about
using
that.
robots to commit crimes?
Well, we need to.
I need to get on that.
We
I need
need-
to start.
We need to get the robots with the Asimov three rules of robotics.
What are the 3 rules of robotics?
I don't have them offhand, but it's
Be a
like
good robot.
one is like
Always listen to daddy.
basically
Mm-hmm.
like do no harm to humans, and then like I forget, but it's like a big part of it is built in. It's like unable to harm humans.
Yeah. Wow. But what if you had to harm a human in order to save all of humanity? Like the theoretical
You're
that they
talking
always
about
throw out.
you're actually talking about the zeroth law, which
Zeroth law?
which is
Whoa.
which
Oh, here we go.
yeah,
3 laws.
a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
Man, I'm not a robot and I'm already confused. Am I allowed to kill you
Can
or
you
not?
can you Google the zeroth law? Zeroth, because it talks just about what you're like the greater good.
Whoa. Dang, man.
Um,
Zeroth law.
but so we'll just have to give it rules, you know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like our robots have any of those rules so far.
No.
The robots seem very kill.
Yeah. Well, we got, as we're pulling that up, we got Andrew Will's partnered with Meta, and then Meta actually I totally missed this because of everything else going on in the world. Meta just spent $15 billion on a 49% stake in Scale AI, so that this guy, Alexander Wang, can join the company full time. He is the youngest self-made billionaire. How old is he anyway? How old is he? He is, you've got to be kidding me, 28 years old, worth
Hey, good
$3.6
for him.
billion. Good for him, man. He was on Theo Von recently. I don't care about that. I don't want to. Oh God, I can't listen to Theo Von go. So, is AI like? If it were a chicken sandwich, would it be spicy or like mild? And you're just like, all right, Theo, just all right. Speaking of billionaires,
Here's the zeroth law, real quick. A robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. Basically, prioritizes the well-being of humanity as a whole above all other considerations.
wow. Anyway, you know who's the number 2 richest man in the world right now?
Is
Just
it
took
that
over
Louis
Bezos
Vuitton,
and Zuckerberg.
Louis Vuitton freak?
Nope, Larry Ellison,
Oh,
the living ghoul,
a guy who's got
the
a
undead.
real vision for a dystopian world where nothing bad ever happens because we're all watching you.
Dude, I can't believe it. I remember seeing Oracle when it was in the 30s or 40s just a couple of years ago, and I was like, who would be buying? I'm not going to buy oil where the growth is all maxed out. No, man. It's now trading at like 200 and something bucks a share. Dude is worth over $200 billion. He's a total psycho, man. I mean, I like this quote. There's a 2003 book authored by investigative journalist Mike Wilson. It's titled The Difference Between God and Larry Ellison. God doesn't think he's Larry Ellison. So
That's pretty good.
huge shout out to, look at this. Dude, get a different beard. What the fuck kind of beard is that?
I will say, whenever I look at him, I'm
Reptile
like,
ass beard?
okay, he doesn't look how old he is, but he also doesn't look young.
No.
He just looks like
He looks like he's always been that way.
he looks like a new age I've never heard of.
Yeah. We actually invented a new age for me. And when you've got this much money, you can become an entirely new age.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else have we got? I don't know, skipping GameStop's. Robinhood's having a heck of a time. I should buy back into Robinhood because these new $1,000 bank account things from Trump, the Invest America thing, they're pushing it on Robinhood. Really smart of them. Look at that. Welcome to Invest America. Get started to get your $1,000 for your children.
Robinhood really turned it around.
They really did. I mean, good for them.
We should have a kid so we can claim the $1,000.
That's a good idea. I
Let's
want to
have
have a kid.
Let's have a bunch of them.
Hey, any women out there want to have a kid? Get $1,000. Let's give it a shot, man.
Also,
It doesn't go to us; it goes to the kid. But still,
Trump was talking about you get $5,000 if you have a kid or something.
I don't know. Sounds good to me.
$6,000.
I'm just saying, ladies. Well, let's wrap it up, shall we? With on a good note, Kalshi, the betting,
Kalshi.
the
Kalshi.
degenerative betting ad. They just put out they used the Google's VO3 to put out an unhinged AI ad, the most unhinged possible, to help promote the World's Gone Mad Trade It campaign. Great what a time to be alive, right? Let's play.
Gonna win, baby.
We're in Florida asking people what they put their money on. I'm all in on OKC.
Indiana got that dog in them.
Will egg prices go up this month?
I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year?
Kalshi!
Kalshi lets you legally trade on anything, anywhere in the U.S. OKC.
Indy! OKC!
It's genuinely one of the
I mean, it was fun. I had a good time, but does it make me feel good? No.
the tagline, "The World Gone Mad
Trade it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. My favorite current Kalshi thing is Jesus coming back this year. And it's like a 4% chance.
I mean, I'll take those odds.
I'll take those odds.
I'll take those odds any day of the week.
If
I want to bet on really small things, like Will Ben.
Shit myself. I don't know. What do you got? If Jesus were to come back this year, where do you think?
Oh, they
Like,
would 100%
TV?
kill him so
Yeah?
quickly.
Yeah, probably. There was a TV show about it called Messiah a
Jesus.
few years ago, but he wasn't Jesus. He didn't claim to be, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Michelle Monaghan, but I love slop. I love crap.
Yeah, I
I'm a
didn't even
pig.
hear about this show.
I don't know. I saw clips of it on TikTok, and I was like, I'll watch that garbage. I'll see what's going on there. Is he the Messiah? How are they going to present this? This is going to be kind of cool. And it was pretty cool. But the whole time they have you, 1 minute you're like, no, this dude's the Messiah. And then the next you're like, maybe he's just a good illusionist. Maybe he's just a magician and a fraud. But then it's like, no, but he did this thing and he's got
What
all
happens
this
in
shit.
the end? Do they kill him?
The season didn't get renewed, so they just left it on a cliffhanger where you're basically just like, we don't know.
A real John from Cincinnati situation.
Oh man, that show sucked. I remember that. Yeah. Well, folks, going into next week,
What's supposed to happen when Jesus comes back?
I don't know. He takes all his buddies with him and leaves the rest of us here to think about what we've done. I think.
Oh yeah, that's what it
but
is.
no, wait. But I thought the because
The
that's
rapture,
the
it's the
that's the
rapture.
rapture. He doesn't come back for that. He just goes, "Yo, everybody, come on,
Come
up.
on, come on, go.
Come on up."
Yo,
The doors
don't
are open.
Leave them.
And
They're not
everybody-
coming.
Yeah, they're not cool. No, I do not fuck with your mom.
Look, I don't. If you don't want to come, stay down there. But we're all
Yeah.
going to heaven.
Yo, straight up. God, I hate talking like this. I can't do it. I can't do that fucking hype guy voice. So what do you guys think? Is Jesus coming back this year? And if
4%.
so,
Do you guys think 4% chance is too high?
I think it's too high. Which means that there's a little bit of an arbitrage opportunity. Bet against that, and you can make a little bit of scratch. Only on Kalshi.
I love thinking about just some biblical freak just throwing all his money down on that 4% chance.
Can you imagine? Well, then
Expires December.
it's down
30.
to a 3% chance.
Oh, come on.
Will Jesus Christ return in 2025? Yeah. Wow. What a time.
What
to
did
be
it
alive.
spike at? Oh, a
I don't
4% chance is about as high as it went.
Yeah. Well, folks, next week we've got.
Also, how does Polymarket determine that? How do they know we're down to a 3% chance
I
now?
have no effing idea. I really don't. It's all a mystery. People are betting.
Dude,
big
that's a
money,
lot
though.
of money.
That's a lot of money. Someone knows something. It's the Pope. But also, why would you be betting that? Because if he comes back, is your money going to be worth anything?
Dude, what? That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think the total now is up to just about $15 million betting for it. I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
I don't know, man. Anyway, folks, Jem Carson will be back on Thursday next week at our normal time. No Friday episode. We're going to be talking about OpEx. We're going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. So if you got questions for him, I don't know where you should send them. Tweet them at StockTwits or at me or something.
I kind of want to ask him about that tweet too.
Oh, of course
talk,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
ask
We'll
him
talk
about
about all of it. We'll talk about
martial
all of it.
law and all that stuff.
Yeah. Which honestly,
doesn't
that
seem
was
too
like
far.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy that now I'm like,
It's
maybe,
totally crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We love you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Try to enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there, and God bless.
We love you.